So I just wanted to come on here real quick before I head out on vacation and have some real talk, real talk about happiness. Honestly, I feel like someone hearing this, someone going through a tough season might just need a little perspective. I'm not claiming to be some happiness guru or expert, really, I'm far from it. But what I can tell you is 5-6 years ago, I was in a dark place. I felt stuck. I felt sad. I felt low. And to be honest, I haven't felt that way in a long time. So I wanted to share what helped me get from there to here, because the truth is life will throw curveballs at you, no warning, things you didn't expect, things you can't control. And I'm not saying just stay positive or pretend that everything's fine. But what I am saying is there are always ways to move through the pain in a healthy way. And I'm going to share with you what actually worked for me. Sometimes I feel like we chase happiness like it's a destination, like when we finally feel peace, or we make enough money, or we hit a certain goal, or we meet the right person, or when everything just clicks, then I'll be happy. But what I've learned is that happiness doesn't come from arriving anywhere. It actually comes from executing what you should be doing every single day. It comes from showing up, putting in the work, stacking wins, building momentum, in your health, your family, your, relationships, your career. At the end of the day, I think we all just want to look in the mirror and say, I'm proud of the person that I'm becoming. I'm proud of the person that I am. For me, happiness really came down to three things: purpose, discipline, and gratitude. Purpose gives you direction. It's the why behind the hustle. It's the reason you get up with the fire in your belly. When you're locked in on purpose, you don't need hype. It's all from within. And then of course, discipline. Discipline is what keeps you moving. You're not your results, you're your habits. You don't need to dominate every single day. You just need to show up every day. Stack the small wins, let the momentum build. Discipline is what can turn a good week into a great year. And then at last, and most importantly, gratitude. Because after all the pressure, the long nights, after all the grind, you just need to stop, take a breath, and just look around, and just realize, you're living in answered prayers, and you didn't come this far to forget how far you've come. So no, I'm not saying I've got it all figured out. I don't. But what I do know is that I've come a long way personally. And if you're in a dark place like I was in, just know it can shift. Start small, stack habits, find purpose, build discipline, stay grounded in gratitude. That's what helped me. And maybe, just maybe, it'll help you too.